Hello and welcome to this course which explains you how to design and create your custom workflows. First, we are going to review the fundamental elements of the workflow engine. The Nuxeo workflow engine provides high-level features regarding task management, such as filterable task lists, reminders, task reassignment, task delegation, task reminders. The workflow is conceptually defined using a graph configured inside Nuxeo Studio. The Nuxeo workflow engine is based on existing Nuxeo features. For example, it uses automation chains powered by content automation when you enter or leave a task. You can design your custom task layouts using Nuxeo Studio Designer. You can trigger notification using the free marker templating system. And finally, the workflow task, workflow templates, and workflow instance are stored as standard Nuxeo document. So you can perform any kind of queries or in SQL to find any specific information. Nuxeo workflows are configured in two steps. First, you need to go to Nuxeo Studio Designer to configure the workflow inside the workflow graph editor. Here, you will be able to configure your nodes and define the different steps of your business process. Then, in Nuxeo Studio Designer, you will be able to create your workflow task layouts. Once your studio project deployed, workflows will be stored as templates inside your Nuxeo instance. Using one of these templates starts automatically what we call a workflow instance on a list of documents. Workflows can be started from the UI using the start process element or using the start workflow automation operation. You can access the workflow task from the document view tab, the task menu, or the dashboard. So let's create now a simple approval process inside Nuxeo Studio. Inside Nuxeo Studio Modeler, you can configure your workflow template from Workflow Process Definition. All you have to do is to click on the New button, indicating the feature ID corresponding to the technical name of the workflow template. You have to indicate a label, which will be displayed to the user to trigger the workflow. And optionally, a description to document your configuration. The workflow template configuration is divided in 4 different tabs. In the definition one, you can update the label, add an icon, and set a description. We will cover the variables tab in one of the next videos. The activation tab, we will indicate all the conditions that should be met to be able to trigger a workflow. In our case, we want the current user to have at least read and edit permission. And finally, we add a filter on the current document type. So we want our custom workflow to be triggered only on file document type. We are not done with all the filters. We can move to the graph view. As you can see, Nuxeo Studio provides a visual interface to create a different task for your workflow. Tasks in Nuxeo platform are called nodes. There are two types of nodes: the automated one, which doesn't require any human interaction, and user task, which require a user to validate or reject a task. There are 4 kinds of user tasks that are available inside Nuxeo Studio: the accept and reject task with 2 buttons, accept and reject, the approve with just 1 approve button, the simple task with no button, and the multiple task, which can create 1 task per assignee. To articulate your workflow, you can use structural node with fork, start, stop, merge element, and you can even start a sub-workflow directly inside the workflow. So now let's create a simple approval workflow. So first I need an accept and reject user task. To add it to my graph, I just have to drag and drop it directly to the graph view and then link the start node to my new user task. Now I will link the validate transition to the stop node. And to perform the update, I need an extra user task to update the document. So I will use this approve task. So I will link the reject transition to the approve one, and then I go back to the first step. So if I save, we can see that we are moving first to the accept and reject transition. If it's validated, we go to the stop node. And if it's rejected, we move to the approve task and go back to the accept and reject task once the review is completed. Obviously, we will rename the approve task to update task and see in the next video how to configure each node. Thanks for watching.